Here it is Thursday, and that means we are back in nutrition educator Lynn Matava's kitchen. And if you're looking for a unique way to make pesto at home, then Lynn has the recipe for you. Let's check it out.
So what we're going to do is make a pesto, and a lot of times we think of pesto as being something that we normally eat in the summertime, maybe the late summer, early fall, because it's used with a lot of fresh herbs, and we don't have a lot of fresh herbs this time of the year, and it's very expensive to go buy them in the grocery store in a way that we could make enough for pesto. But we're going to make a pesto out of kale. So this is going to be nutrient dense, and it's going to be bright and pretty, and it's really going to help add something special to our meals this time of the year, which I think a lot of us are looking for, because a lot of our comfort foods are delicious, but they also tend to be very on the not bright and fresh and crisp side this time of year. So like I said, we're going to use kale, and we're actually going to start out with garlic, and I'm going to throw a clove of garlic in there. So next we're going to add in some sort of nuts, about half a cup. Now I've got Brazil nuts here. You could use walnuts, you could use pine nuts, sunflower seeds if they're raw and unsalted, pumpkin seeds. You could really use just about anything, and this is just going to add a nice depth of flavor to it, and it also kind of helps with the consistency. And I'm adding in about a half a cup. And then to that we're going to add just a pinch of salt. You don't need a ton. This is going to have so much flavor without it, and a little bit of pepper. And then I've got my food processor here. You can also do this in a blender. And we're just going to give it a little bit of, start getting it chopped up so we get it all blended up before we start adding in our kale. So really smells fragrant of garlic in here right now. And to that I'm going to add a little bit of zest from this lemon. Now you don't typically put lemon in pestos, but again, it's that time of the year where I just think the food needs to be brightened up a little bit. Just add a little bit of something special that gives it that little zing and pop when everything is not fresh and the produce isn't fresh, you know, the way it is in the summertime. And this lemon zest will help do that. We're also going to add a little bit of the juice from this in just a moment. I'm going to add to that my kale in here, and it's going to be about 2.5, 3 cups if it was packed in. This is very loose. I'm just pulling out any of the really tough stems. Alright, now we're getting that nice and really small pieces here that break up. A little bit of this kale left. And I'm going to add to it about another cup of fresh herbs, and I just happen to have some parsley that hasn't completely died off out in my garden, and some oregano. Okay. And now is the point where we're going to start adding our oil in, and I'm just going to do a slow stream. Put this back on, and we're going to do anywhere from about a third to a half a cup. Cheese, and then again, this is not a customary thing to put into it, but we're going to squeeze just a little bit of lemon juice. Make sure I don't get any seeds in there. So that was probably about a tablespoon of juice I added, and maybe about a third to a half a cup of cheese. Okay. What I end up with is this beautiful green, bright green paste, and it just smells fresh and a little garlicky. Gonna add a little bit more oil to it. And that is it. Anything that you aren't going to use in your meal could be refrigerated. And you would want to make sure that when you're putting it into a container, you're going to pack it down really well to get out all the air bubbles, and then just pour a little bit of oil on top to create a layer to keep the air from the oxygen from getting in there and oxidizing the top of it. You could do that in a jar. I've put it in these little silicone cups because this is how I would put it in the freezer. And if I pop it in the freezer like this, it is going to peel right off once it's frozen, and I could throw them in a large zip bag or something to that matter. So I hope this gives you some wintertime inspiration. This is a budget-friendly way, as I said before, and it's just going to add flavor and color and nutrients to your planning, your meal planning this week.
And just a reminder, we do have all of Lynn's tips and tricks on our website. Just head to 47abc.com and click on the Good Morning Delmarva page.